Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and this is another out of Korea exclusive Tobot mini combiner. Third season mini Deltatron. Pretty simple box, just the basics. Robot, the car, the digital stock photos, each pilot lighting up with their car and Tobot nicely. Most powerful integration ever! 3 cars combined! An officially licensed Kia product as shown on each of these cars. Note that image may differ from actual product, which is definitely the case, because this is all digital renders of the animation model and not anything of the toy itself. Power glove equipped. Power glove equipped. Trailer included. Redundancy. Also, these toy highlights are toy renders of the bigger regular Deltatron toy and not the mini one, which there are big differences for this small, simplified version. Clippiest kibble into the leg right there. Top of the box, difficulty 1. Side of the box, main logo. Bottom of the box, Korean address in English. Not as detailed as the Korean product info. And the other side is mini Deltatron. I removed most of the twisty ties, but it still holds in place. The trailer is right off to the side. So here are the 3 cars that make up Deltatron Mini D in red, Mini X Adventure X in metallic green, and Mini Adventure Z in off-white beige. If you can see there, this is white and this is beige. Accessories. This Tobot trailer that holds the power gloves, which is actually completely irrelevant in the show, but physically you have to have some place to store these things when not in use. Yeah, so there's a little hook on Adventure Z in which you can throw it around. Just actually drag it around, just scrape it along. Because for whatever reason, this small version of the trailer has no rolling wheels at all. So it's just a block with a little raised nub, 3 raised nubs. Guess they did not have the budget to put in extra pinwheels or an extra plastic clip-on wheel that Hasbro loves nowadays. Oh, and with the original Deltatron toy, all 3 of the cars had little back trailer hitches, but this mini version only has Z's hitch. So yeah, it's all reserved for him. The other accessory is this small sticker sheet with some Korean names, oddly enough, even though this thing was never released in Korea. So it just minimally consists of the tail lights for Adventure Z, like goes right here, and 2 little leg stripings for the leg decorations here. But these are raised surfaces, so applying these straight flat stickers on here would not lend to itself to good longevity, since there would be tiny little gaps under here that would let it peel off. Did they also run out of budget so that they could not paint these little arrows and just left them on a sticker sheet? Well, I guess you could try applying them and then cutting out those blue bits to leave perfectly leveled stickers. An adult challenge, putting 12 little arrows on each of these little bits. I'm kinda disappointed of the very limited sticker options, because the original bigger toy had more stickers to really spruce up the car with license plates and rear lights and Kia badges. Yeah, these are officially licensed Kia toys, but no Kia logo to be seen anywhere, not even on stickers. I guess these are tiny little spots that would be too small, too tiny for big fat kids' fingers. But there is more than meets the eye, because all of these windows are pre-applied stickers. Except for the rear windows, those are well painted in black. But the rest of the windows, the side windows, the front windows, and the tiny little front lights, they're all stickers. Pre-applied factory stickers, and some extra separate stickers for some reason. And to be honest, I think the stickers turned out pretty well. Although yeah, you can see a few bit of notch scratches and here and there, notches here and there, but for stickers instead of paint, it looks pretty okay. But I guess that's how cheap the budget got for this thing. But I do like the nicely painted metallic blue headlights instead of typical silver or the kiddie-ish baby blue headlights. Also, it looks a little bit unusual for all of them to have the same gang molded metallic tires instead of black. But I guess at least Axe's Avenger bull bar looks better in black than the same light blue bull bars with a silver sticker around it. So these are squashed renditions of a Kia Morning or Picanto, a Kia Sorento, and a Kia all-new Soul with off-road editions. Put that with a typical model car, and yeah, the width is about similar, but the length is short. The length is really squashed tiny. And lengthwise, they're still maybe a bit shorter than the lower tier scale. 132, 143. Not quite the scale. But all things considered, this particular Tobot toy is generally in line with the general chug scale for the actual characters, but not the vehicles they're based off of. Transformation combination integration's pretty similar to the big Deltatron. Flip out this entire shell piece, flip out this car front hood. The original Deltatron had this thing on 2 hinges so that this would naturally fold over the windscreen, but this is just 1 hinge leaving some hanging kibble. Flip out the entire half of a lower torso on these nicely ratcheted knee joints. Flip that thigh swivel. Get your fat finger in there and pull out the heel support and the door foot. Exact same idea for Axe here. Clip them together. And Avenger Z is where it's the most simplified. Split this apart and take that really obvious combining sliding joint with nothing to hide it, unlike the bigger one which had an entire roof section completely concealing those sliding hinges, and then this part would slide over on the back, filling out the back, but it isn't there either, so you're just left with this. Then just slide it right in there, turn around the shoulders and just flip these down, carrying the entire car front halves with the hands instead of flipping over on the shoulders. Get some big bulky articulator hands. Flip out the head just like the big Deltatron. And take the gloves off the trailer and plug them in his hands right here. And when separating, do it all in reverse. And make sure to slide that torso off and not yank it off like most kids would be inclined to pull apart separating parts, or else you just might forcefully and wrongfully break it, worthy of a negative review. Mini Deltatron is just looking as beefy and brawny as his bigger Deltatron, especially with those arms, those blue arms and the blue, yeah, the color combination of red, titanium, blue, and white, and the individual component colors of beige, red, and green. Pretty nice color combination. And Tobot combiners sure do love the upside down car as a torso. And this one is just very slightly by having the rear form the front, with this additional delta symbol shaped tri-pronged thingy. Also, the squat head of Deltatron lost his red cheeks and his unique engraved forehead glove summoning engravings is lost here. And the torso is proportionately adjusted. The car roof remains while this thing slides in from the front rather than the back. The midsection, this half-painted white midsection is adjusted because they don't compact and fold in, unlike the big one. Also, not enough white paint on here. And the back of the pelvis area has a similar circle pattern, but not the same as his Delta crotch button, unlike the show accurate model, which is just a butt button. The trailer hook is sticking out, which is not the case for the big one since the torso slid forward a bit to cover the hook, but this simplified version can't afford that. On another note, by sheer coincidence, only this screw hole is 5mm compatible. Articulation and differences. So the lower legs, the lower body is mostly identical, along with the really nice ratcheted thighs and knees. That goes obtuse due to the kibble, with or without the kibble. And unintentional foot joint. Also, these heel struts collapse way too easily, nothing to lock them in. But the upper portion is quite compromised. No head and no waist, just like Deltatron, but the arms just really got the short end of the stick. I mean, they still do have a full shoulder swivel and a slight arm move due to the gauntlets, but no elbows. No elbows and no biceps, unlike Big Deltatron. This is a boxing Tobot. How is he supposed to box without any elbows and biceps? He can only swing his arms in a frenzy. Or do a short jab. Thanks to these joints, which are unobstructed by an entire car roof panel. Well, yeah, the Big Deltatron had that cleaned up nicely, but this one is bare-backed, but at least it has this extra piece of articulation, which is something, but doesn't really quite make up for the loss of arm articulation. And he can't do that much punching with open, non-closable fingers. And the actual shoulders are looking quite wrong because these shoulder joints, these arm joints are way too inward. They were more centralized on the Big Deltatron, but yeah, because of simplification, they just really had to push it all the way back, and also it such severely limits his big glove movement. Not helped with the lack of extendable shoulder joints. And these bits look a bit misproportioned. Giant screw holes and engraved instead of the printed symbols on his shoulders. Yeah, they just had to squeeze a Tobot in there, but leaving no room for the Deltatron symbol. Yeah, it should have been up here, but yeah, giant screw holes in the way. Maybe this is where I would have preferred stickers. Size comparisons. Deluxe, Tobot Mini, War for Cybertron Voyager Prime, a modern leader class, and Mini Champion. Pretty sizable, big, somewhat leader-sized, but not regular Tobot leader-sized. My verdict is pretty much the same as the other few reviewers who have reviewed this. A pretty great downsizing of a pretty great Tobot combiner toy. Seemed to be quite the popular Tobot in its heyday. But the stiff arms are a really big letdown. Like the other Amazon Tobots, I was lucky to get one of them in their latest restock shipments, but I don't know if or when they'll restock later. So now the only Tobot mini combiners I'm missing are Mini Quatran and Mini Magma 6. I don't know if they'll ever restock in the USA, not those countless knockoffs. And for Magma 6, I had several opportunities but never jumped on it. It's either new or never, and it's still never because of its high price. Just a few more minis until my Amazon review Tobot season wraps up. So stay tuned.